What up, what up? So I wanted to make this video for the people out there who have chronic fatigue. This video is also going to be helpful for people who have regular fatigue. You know, it may not be chronic. It may just be that, you know, you're not performing as well as you would want to. Maybe you do a 9-to-5 job and you come home and you're decimated for the rest of the day. So I believe this series that I'm going to make, there will be some stuff that can help both crowds, but obviously it is mainly going to be for the chronic fatigue crowd, because obviously that's what this series is about, and you're probably pretty desperate to work it out. So I'm going to share with you in this series what I've learned, and I'm going to share with you some things that have worked for me. And it's been a long journey. I've had chronic fatigue for 6 years. Really only my close friends and family actually kind of know. It's kind of a difficult illness, or it's kind of a disease, but it's kind of in its own league, because on the outside it can seem you're fine, but actually when you're just tired all the fucking time, and you just have to sleep loads and nap and do whatever you can to get some energy to do stuff, it can take a big toll. So anyway, I wanted to structure this in a way that wasn't too boring and not too long all in one go. I wanted to structure it, this first video, as a kind of brief and an overview of how to go about this, and how to kind of go about doing or trying some of the things that I'm going to talk about. So this starting video will still be quite a long video, and I've got a lot of notes to go through. So I'm going to be looking down the iPad now and again to just check that I've got everything in this video that I wanted to say. So to start off, just a quick one. If you're not sure if you've actually got chronic fatigue at the moment, some of the factors that might be some of the symptoms that might be telling you are very poor energy levels all the time, obviously not improved by sleep, brain fog, anxiety, poor metabolism, finding it difficult to lose weight, finding it difficult to lose body fat especially, and you tend to have bad reactions to carbohydrates and alcohol. You can't metabolize them. Most people, carbohydrates and alcohol, you feel great when you eat them, but when you have chronic fatigue, a lot of the time it tends to be when you eat some sort of carbohydrate or sugar, you just completely crash and you need to go to bed. So that is the kind of characterization of it, I would say. So in this video, I'm going to go over the mindset of how I went about improving this, and how I constantly go about improving this illness, and what I found kind of works the best mindset wise, and allows you a strategy that allows you to not make mistakes, and basically eliminate things that could be the cause one by one, and not just randomly getting false information. After that, I'm going to give the first steps that I would recommend going through, that I should have done initially when I first realized that I had it, but looking back now, you know, what I should have done based on you know, what I've experienced now. So yeah, a little bit of background to start it off, I had chronic fatigue. I've still got it somewhat for 5 to 6 years now, and there's periods of time when it's better and periods of time when it's worse based on a variety of factors. But mine was initially kicked off from a very bad bout of glandular fever, otherwise known as Epstein-Barr virus, and yeah, that just hit me really hard, and that kind of threw my body off somehow, and yeah, that's kind of when it all started for me. Maybe a variety of different things for you guys out there, because it could be triggered by a huge amount of things. So that's kind of where I'm going to start off, really, is that because chronic fatigue isn't something that's very easily diagnosable in terms of what the cause is. Say for instance, if you had something like diabetes, you know for a fact that your insulin is not working properly and your carbohydrates are not entering the cell. That is diabetes, and then there's various solutions for it, but you know that is the cause. With chronic fatigue, it could be triggered by a virus, could be triggered just over time by genetically. Genetically, you may be deficient in some sort of pathway, some sort of process that's happening in your body is dysfunctional, and slowly it gets worse over time, or a major traumatic event, or many different things. So yeah, that is the point, basically, that the cause of your chronic fatigue, what I found, is it could be a variety of different things. There is a pathway or multiple pathways or processes that are happening in your body that are dysfunctional, or you're deficient in something, whereby it is causing your fatigue. So in future videos, I'm going to go in detail about what each of these pathways, about some of the pathways that I've found that possibly could contribute. Some obvious ones could be hormones, signaling chemicals, antioxidants, nutritional deficiencies, all of these different things, or just straight up, you know, some pathway in your liver that isn't functioning properly, or you know, some amino acid that is depleted in your body, thereby causing a lowering of some antioxidant or something like that. That is the broadest way that I could put it. It's one of these pathways, or multiple of these pathways, or hormones, etc., that is off and that has gone wrong. So what we need to do is identify which one of these pathways is going wrong. And some of the pathways that I've found, maybe one of them is similar to yours, and so one of the solutions I've found might work for you. Maybe one of the pathways that I've found, maybe it's not the same for you, and maybe your pathway is something that I haven't personally come across yet. But I'm gonna give you all the ones that I've come across in this video and future videos, and hopefully at least one of them will help. But yeah, I mean, the point is that we wanna come at this like a scientist. So we wanna control as many things as we can, and then change one thing, like a scientific experiment. Because only then we'll know whether that thing is actually making a difference. So you want to do your own research around what I've done, and constantly be researching what could be going wrong in your body in order to find out what potential things could be causing the fatigue. And I'd encourage you to work out some of your own potential solutions as well, along with trying potentially some of the ones that I've found. So that's the kind of mindset of it. I think I've covered that pretty well. That is how we want to come about it. And so we just want to start off with the first steps of actually going about this. So I would say the first and most obvious thing, the one that's going to be the easiest to identify and narrow down, is to get as many blood tests as you can. Hormones, vitamins, anything in the body that you can get a test for, any viruses, infections, just absolutely anything. Go to your doctor and try and get as many blood tests as you can. Very common ones are the hormones initially. A lot of you, I would imagine, would be deficient in some sort of in one of the hormones, and that would be causing the majority of fatigue. So, for instance, testosterone, estrogen, thyroid is a massive one. If your thyroid is low, it's very likely you're going to be fatigued, no matter what else is wrong with you. Prolactin, that is another one. So yeah, in the UK here, we have free healthcare, so you can go to the doctor and then you can explain to him what's wrong. Either you're tired all the time, him or her obviously. If you're tired all the time, and then just ask if you can get any of these blood tests, because you don't know what it is that is wrong with you. Say you live a healthy lifestyle, but you don't know why you're tired all the time, and they'll give you a fair amount of blood tests for free. I'm not sure what the process is for that in the US or other areas of the world. You'll have to Google and find out how exactly you can get blood tests in your country. The other ways you can pay for your own blood tests. In the UK, they won't give you a full panel of vitamins, for instance. They might give you vitamin D, they might give you folate and a couple of other ones. And some of the hormones ones, it's quite difficult to get them as well. So anything that you can't get for free, that you can't get from the doctor, I would say get as many as you can, paying for them yourself. It can be quite expensive, but it's the easiest way to find out what's going wrong straight up from the onset. Good website that I've used in the past is called Medichecks. It's just they just post you like a blood sample test kit. You like prick your finger, put the blood in the vial, and then send it off. That's really good, and it's been pretty accurate, consistent with the doctor's test. So I would highly recommend them. I'll put a link in the description for them. I'm not sure about other companies, but a lot of countries will have their own private testing. So yeah, I mean, on Medichecks there's a full panel blood test where they test like literally everything for like £550, which is about $750, I believe. All the separate tests are usually around £40, $60 to £100, $120 if you want to get them separately. So I'd say start off there, and then from that point if you actually find that you're deficient in one of the things that you've been tested on, then there may be a simple solution that the doctor will give you. For instance, if your thyroid is low, and that is the only thing that's wrong with you, it's very it'd be advisable, I would say, to take the doctor's prescription of thyroid hormone that they would give you if your thyroid was low, and give that a go initially. My thyroid hormone was a little bit low, but not enough to actually for the doctor to actually prescribe. But I did take the thyroid hormone anyway. I just bought it myself to try, and it did help for a couple of years before I found a better solution. If you find one of the hormones or one of the test deficiencies is low, and you've supplemented it and you've replaced it, and you're not back to 100%, or it hasn't helped, then it's possible that lowering of a hormone or deficiency may be a symptom of another deficiency or another pathway that is dysfunctional in your body, that I'll explain a little bit further on in another video. One of the pathways that we've spoken about. We haven't really spoken about any pathways, but one of the pathways that we will speak about. Yeah, so I think we'll leave it at that for the first video. Yeah, because that's pretty much the mindset that we want to go about it, and yeah, I'll be making future videos about various other causes that could be contributing to the chronic fatigue, and some things that I've found specifically. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing more actual solutions that I've found that might not be obvious in the future videos. So, cheers for watching. I'm gonna put all of the videos for this in a playlist. Yeah, if you're just a normal person without actually chronic fatigue, I would highly recommend getting the blood tests and stuff anyway. If you're deficient in anything, or if one of your hormones is low, then you're not going to have as much energy as you would like, and if you get them sorted, then and you can get your energy up, then life can be a lot more enjoyable and productive. So yeah, I will see you in the next video, where we'll be discussing some of the first things that I've worked out. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.